All right, we're live for all of our friends joining us today. And we'll give us a solid 30 seconds and see how many new friends that we have. Oh, it says that the room is full and they're trying to join. Okay, looks like we have some more friends joining us here. Let me just make sure we're getting everyone in here. Okay, I just want to make sure we're able to get all of our friends in here that would like to join us today. Okay. Well, fortunately, we are recording this. We'll get going here in just a minute. Thank you for joining us today. Okay. We're getting a few more people joining in with us today. Taylor, tell me your favorite song that's hyping you up right now. What's on repeat in Taylor's brain?
In my brain, there's a lot of music going on in there at all times. It's a fun
Very
place
good.
to be. But Thunderstruck by AC/DC probably.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
classic. I like it.
Definitely.
Very good. Very good. Well, shoot, I'm excited. I think we just jump right into it. What do you think? How are you feeling?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So thank you for everyone joining us today. We've got Taylor Davis, our resident expert on marketing agencies. Really quickly, my name is Paige White. I am the Social Climb Marketing Manager. And I'm sitting down with Taylor today to figure out how we can help our marketing agency friends prove their worth to their healthcare clients, because that's a whole different beast. So just to give you a brief introduction to Taylor, he has been in the healthcare marketing industry for about a year and currently serves as Social Climb's Enterprise Account Executive. Now, in this role, Taylor helps healthcare marketing teams and agencies across the country improve their marketing efficiency and their ROI, two very important things. Taylor is also a big fan of the Dune series, isn't that right?
Yeah, you could say that.
So he would love to discuss the movie Dune Part 2 and at any point later on, that specifically that one. So feel free to connect with him on LinkedIn or shoot him a message later. But for now, let's focus on all of his marketing expertise. So um, really quickly, after Taylor shares his tips and tricks, we have the opportunity to answer some questions. So please put that in the chat. I will say, just a nice disclaimer, our private chat is not entirely private. So everyone on the call today will be able to see it. Use that knowledge how you'd like, but please feel free to share some questions that you may have, and we'll do our best to answer, or at least jot them down and get back to you. We're also excited to see several talented agencies joining us today and would love to learn from their experiences. So if you have any tips, throw those in the chat as well. This is an opportunity to really learn from each other and seek in all the knowledge. So let's dive in. So Taylor, to kick us off, and I'll turn off our lovely title slide so people can see you. Nice.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. You're live, my friend. Okay. What are some of the common pain points that you hear from healthcare marketing agencies?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be able to dive into this. Healthcare marketing, just in general, is uniquely challenging just because of HIPAA. If I'm Amazon or Target or something like that, right? I know exactly who my customers are and where I should be targeting them, even down to their online behaviors. So it gets really difficult in healthcare because we don't have that luxury. HIPAA forces us to work with the pieces of the puzzle that we have, and we're left to infer everything else based on the picture created by those pieces that we do have. So it's a guessing game at best. Many times is what we run into. That being said, right now healthcare marketing is being uniquely challenged with an increased scrutiny on GA4 and Metapixel, formerly Facebook Analytics, client churn, and overall decrease in just budgets. Right, on a macro scale, we've seen a lessening of marketing budgets just in general.
Excellent. So, like you mentioned, the Department of Health and Human Services, they recently increased their HIPAA guidelines when it comes to tracking technologies. So, what are some of the risks associated with GA4 and Metapixel?
Yeah, one of the precious pieces that we've had to this incomplete marketing puzzle of the patient journey has been the combined power of Google and Meta. GA4 and Metapixel provide great insights into the patient journey, key insights up to this point. But one of the massive issues we're seeing today is that Google and Meta will not sign a business associate agreement, ultimately meaning that they are not HIPAA compliant. What has happened to many practices and large health systems across the country is that patient data in some way, shape, or form has ended up in Google and Meta servers. This has resulted in multiple high-profile HHS violations and lawsuits. If you run these analytics without proper protection, you run these risks as well. I've personally come across many healthcare entities who have abandoned analytics entirely to avoid these potential risks associated with GA4 and Metapixel.
That's a good point to call out. So, because Google Analytics and Meta are no longer considered HIPAA compliant, the healthcare organizations that you've seen, they're just missing out on that valuable patient data completely to avoid
Yeah.
HIPAA risk.
Yeah, and the result of that is just that there's not a lot of trust in marketing in general. So when it comes to an agency, it just becomes this: we don't need this because we don't even know if it works, right?
Excellent. No, that's a great point to call out. So, what are some of the alternative solutions that you recommend?
Right. So the only real avenue to receive similar patient insights is by finding a partner who's going to sign a BAA, and then bonus plus if they can integrate with your client's EHR platform. In fact, this solution is capable of providing even more pieces to that healthcare marketing puzzle that I talked about by being able to track deeper into the funnel than ever before. So leveraging an EHR connection means that you can track not only calls, interactions, but appointments as well, and even new patients to every single marketing campaign. This provides a far clearer picture when we talk about those puzzle pieces and clearer picture in that puzzle piece. And we can see what marketing campaigns are working, which aren't. Some out there even allow you to understand, what the return on ad spend is for many of your campaigns. Quick example. Traction Healthcare Marketing Agency has utilized social climb to track all the marketing campaigns they are running for their clients and provide real-time performance metrics. So before finding this solution, they were forced to manually track down data to demonstrate their ROI on campaigns, utilizing clicks, things like that. They were, kind of looking to go deeper in order to get that. It was all a manual process. What the social climb solution did was not only save them a large amount of time, but allowed them to prove their worth to their clients as well. Not just in not just in call or clicks and calls and things like that, but in new patients and dollars. In short, you need to find someone who's going to sign a BAA and integrate with your client's EHR to provide better insights. Ultimately, this provides more pieces to the patient marketing journey, allowing everyone to make better decisions. It's just a more complete puzzle.
I love that. So I just want to emphasize that point again. We still have some friends joining us, and we appreciate you joining us today. Signing that business associate agreement, that BAA, with a partner who can integrate with your client's EHR, that's the key. That's the missing puzzle for HIPAA compliant data.
Right. Yeah.
I
And
love
so
that.
what that allows you to do again is just provide further deeper insights. And so you can start to connect campaigns with new patients and revenue numbers.
Beautiful. So earlier on, you mentioned that one of the problems you hear about a lot is client churn from
Yeah.
our friends at agencies. How does access to that HIPAA compliant data impact client churn?
So in healthcare, just to back up, the first department that people look at when budgets compress is marketing. And it's truly unfortunate, honestly. Marketing is extremely important to overall well-being of a healthcare entity and really any entity out there. When executives can't see what the return on their dollar spent is, which is extremely common in healthcare, they feel like they're throwing their money away. So I'm seeing this a lot today. Costs are rising, profit margins are shrinking, and agency clients are churning as a result. Presented with these challenges, agencies need to demonstrate really a healthy return on investment for the campaigns that they're running. I'm seeing metrics like clicks and impressions be scrutinized even more, even without the HIPAA things that we were talking about before. You need a solution that honestly allows you to go deeper, like we talked about before. It allows you to show the marketing funnel as far as deep down in there, so that you can show ROI, right? And that's the big thing. So executives, when they're presented with ROI numbers, we've seen them decide to increase agency budgets instead of decreasing it because they know it works. It's so much easier to pitch a new outreach or a new campaign when you've got real ROI numbers to back that up, and tracking at a deeper level and presenting more, honestly, of that patient journey and the puzzle that we talked about before. It allows you to request additional budget and take on more campaigns because your client knows it works at the end of the day.
That's interesting. So from your experience, that data not only reduces client churn, but it opens up opportunities for increased business for agencies?
Yeah, for sure. And we've seen that time and time again. When we start to be able to prove out these ROI numbers, it just automatically people are like, well, how can we spend more, right? So that's when they know what the if I put $1 in, I'm going to get $15 out, right? Like, who wouldn't do that at the end of the day?
Exactly. Exactly. It's all about connecting the dots there. So what is your number one tip for healthcare marketing agencies when it comes to client retention?
So I'm going to sound like a broken record here, and I don't mean to, but it's prove your ROI, right? It's no longer sufficient to provide impressions and clicks and expect those metrics to satisfy your customers. It's just not. Keep the top of your funnel, the top end of that funnel that we talked about with the puzzle pieces and everything like that. Keep it HIPAA compliant with Google Analytics and Metapixel, and then rely on a partner who can track deeper into the funnel in a HIPAA compliant way. Honestly, you need to find a solution who can provide you a new patient number tied to each campaign you run at least. Once that's in place, right, I would look into finding unique ways to improve your targeting so you can find higher value patients who will further allow you to improve your ROI and show that to clients, right? So this is kind of that ground level that I would say everyone needs to try and find a way to be able to prove that out to their clients. But then you need to start working up funnel a bit more and saying, all right, we know what works and what doesn't. Let's find more efficient ways to target people at the end of the day.
Exactly. So the key is a HIPAA compliant way to track that ROI.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right. Those close up the questions I had for you. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat today. One thing that I wanted to kind of touch on a little bit in depth was you mentioned a little bit impressions.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the metrics that healthcare clients want to see?
Yeah, and I think that was one of the questions here in the chat as well, is just what are the ideal KPIs to show? You're right, calls and clicks and impressions, things like that, they're not enough. You need to be able to, like I said before, show new patient data linked to every single campaign. So that's what people are focusing on. They people maybe don't understand marketing at a very deep level outside of those marketing experts, right? So when we're talking to doctors, when we're talking to clients, it can be difficult, but they understand money and they understand what a return on investment is. And if you can demonstrate that, it's just so much easier to really do anything. Because if I go to somebody and say, "Hey, we got tons of impressions on this campaign," it's just not likely to move the needle as much as, "Hey, we generated this many new patients," or even, "We generated this much revenue off of this campaign."
Excellent. And so going back to that, a BAA and an integrated EHR that can
Right.
provide all of those KPIs. Excellent.
Yeah. So find a partner who can do that, who can really just get in deeper and show you the ROI, and show you exactly what's going on with each marketing campaign. That's my biggest advice to everybody today.
I love that. We also had another question come through in the chat, and feel free to add some more questions.
Yeah.
We've still got plenty of time, but what are some of the strategies that can help bridge the gap between doctors and healthcare experts?
Yeah, so some of those strategies that help to bridge the gap are really going to they're really going to look like it. And again, I don't want to dive so deep into this, but it's showing the revenue generated at the end of the day. Like I said, doctors are very intelligent people, but maybe that marketing part is not something that they necessarily are good at, but they understand money, they understand when profits are increasing and things like that. So helping them to further understand that is going to serve you best. And it's going to help you prove that what you do is great and that what you do is working and that it's improving the overall health of the entity that you're working with.
Excellent. Oh, that's a great call out. Well, we'll give a few more minutes for some questions to come through. If anybody has any burning questions for Taylor or about the industry, as we mentioned before, he has the opportunity to work with a lot of agencies throughout the country. One thing I'll call out while we're giving our guests here a few more minutes is Taylor mentioned Traction. They're a healthcare specific marketing agency that we at Social Climb have had the opportunity to partner with for several of their clients. And one of the things that they continued to call out in our discussions was that they have the opportunity when they find a way, whether through Social Climb or another tool, to access that HIPAA compliant data, they then have more time to focus on the skills that they have, and to share their marketing expertise with their clients. Because like we've talked about here, sometimes you've got doctors who, although highly intelligent in their field, not as active in the marketing field. And so this gives agencies an opportunity to really shine with that data. One thing I'll call out with that as well is we have shared that case study for all of our guests here today. To check that out or to reach out to our team here at Social Climb and learn about our own HIPAA compliant targeting tools, simply go to bit.ly/LinkedIn Live 522, and I'll share that link here with you so you can access that as well. But Taylor, anything else you'd like to add on here as we close out our time?
Yeah, I just saw one more question coming here in the chat, so I'll answer that and then we'll wrap
Beautiful.
up here. Just reading it. I've seen other agencies stay completely away from healthcare because they're scared of HIPAA and think they're leaving a lot of money on the table. Do you see that at Social Climb? Absolutely. We see marketing agencies who would dive into healthcare but are just afraid of all the regulations and things around that, and it feels almost like doing something different than what you currently are doing. the whole point of what I'm talking about today is you can continue to do the things that make you great as an agency in healthcare. This is possible. It may take a little bit of adjusting and things that you have to do in order to make sure that you're going to be HIPAA compliant, but it's not as hard as everyone thinks it is. And honestly, if you find a HIPAA compliant solution that can prove your worth, and you stay on that HIPAA compliance side and do all of those things, yeah, you're going to leave a lot of money on the table by not going into healthcare. Healthcare is something that is awesome for everybody, right? We want to be involved in this journey, but you just have to make a couple of adjustments. But those same strategies can work in healthcare is the big thing that I wanted to emphasize today.
Absolutely. There's definitely opportunities for those partnerships, and we want to help facilitate that however we can. So, Taylor, thank you for hanging out with us today. For our guests, thank you also for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. We will be sharing this recording later on. So if you missed a part earlier on or would like to reference it back, perhaps share it with your team. That will be available to you through our LinkedIn account. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Again, go check out that website. We've got bit.ly/LinkedIn Live 522, just today's date, 522. So that has a link to that traction agency case study, as well as a form that you can fill out to get in contact with Taylor or one of our other awesome teammates here. We're always happy to answer any questions. So.
And I wanted to thank you, Paige, for putting this on, and let everyone know as well that you can reach me on LinkedIn if you want to as well. That's just an easy way to connect, and just send me a connection. I'll accept it. We can chat on there. So
Absolutely. All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you.